but what is it going to mean for Reliance's own plans, and big plans at that, in the retail segment? Well, we have two specialists joining in for that. Jal Irani, who's been a very long-term watcher of the Reliance Industries stock, the business as it has metamorphosized, and also Harshvardhan Dole, who is Vice President in Institutional Equities at IIFL. Jal, of course, is from Edelweiss. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. Now, Jal, let me start with you. We don't know the key detail on debt right now. I mean, that's still in a amorphous cloud. How much is the haircut? Is most of it left with Future? Will some of it move to the entities that Reliance takes over? So in the absence of some of those details, what would your first take be on the transaction?
Well, I mean, firstly, the businesses are very synergistic, especially from the perspective that Future Retail and the consolidated entities of the Future group that Reliance is acquiring together are about 40-45% in the grocery and foods business, which, as you know, is a key focus for Reliance Retail going forward. Reliance Retail itself has 21% coming from that business. So as this business is a key focus, especially with the launch of JioMart, to that extent it is synergistic. Also, by far, the format which Reliance Industries typically has got is a relatively smaller store format, while Big Bazaar for Future Retail especially is a large format and a very good franchise, a very good brand as such, located more importantly in the larger cities relative to Reliance's strategy being in proportion being larger in the smaller cities and towns. So this has got a lot of interesting synergistic fits. So I think this is something largely on the lines that one was expecting, and I think this is a good strategy which Reliance has followed.
Okay, got that. So you're saying that Reliance Retail's presence in the food and grocery business expands further, which is the key growth area for them. So that's one of the big synergies. Harshvardhan Dole also joins in. Harsh, morning. Have you done any kind of calculation on how the valuations stack up of this acquired entity versus something like, say, a D-Mart that has a large presence in this space? And is there any scope for raising your target price, your SOTP valuations on Reliance Industries post this deal?
See, the deal values on an EV to sales basis, it's typically between 0.9 to 1 times FY20 sales, which is very favorable to a best comparable as of now will be someone like a D-Mart, which is trading in upwards of 6 times on FY20. So relative to D-Mart, I think it's a very, very, very attractive acquisition, and there is a significant scope for value creation towards minority shareholders of RIA as RIA takes over the operations and scales it up big time. So just one point we would like to highlight, and which is what we've written in our detailed note today. See, the structure is such, taking over the assets, and a lot of strategic investors who are part of various Future Group entities remain investors in FEL. They have no say in the businesses which are taken over. So to that extent, while Reliance has scaled up its own forte, it has pushed back a lot of these new players who are planning to scale up omni-channel sales, and they will have to rethink as to what their strategy will be going forward. So it's like, it's sort of a swing both ways, whereby Reliance goes up and at the same time the competition weakens. So we see a lot of scope for further upside in Reliance Retail valuations. And partly we have raised the target price today from 2050 to 2273.
Okay, 2273, Harsh. Yeah, interesting point. I mean, I think this is a time when the big get bigger and end up pushing out sometimes the smaller players. That's the kind of marketplace we're in. On that valuation, I mean, how are you looking at Reliance SOTP right now? And there's this telecom piece that's firing away in a big manner, and now it's retail. So for the market to look at Reliance as a stock going forward, will retail start dominating more of the mind share, and how is the SOTP breakup of that target that you mentioned?
Again, if I were to break down the SOTP, retail and telecom, which are the new growth engines for Reliance, will account for more than 2/3 or more than 70% of the overall SOTP, and the old O2C business, which is right now the cash cow, will account for the balance. So in terms of valuation after the stake sale in Jio, etc., the valuation attributable to Reliance is pegged at an EV of something like $52 to $53 billion. Retail, we are ascribing a valuation of $62 billion for the core Reliance Retail, and for the acquired entity, we think that the potential option value is anywhere between 15 to $17 billion. The O2C business, we are ascribing an EV of $62 billion, which again has an upside risk if somebody like an Aramco or any other strategic investor were to come and take a stake at a much higher valuation.
Okay. Let's talk about growth now, since this deal is complete. Jal, I wanted your thoughts on what the compounded growth could be for Reliance Retail over the next 2 to 3 years, since we've spoken about how this portfolio complements Reliance Retail in tier 1 cities, along with its presence in in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which is very strong. But now, since they get access to tier 1 cities as well with future retail, do you think there could be accelerated compounded growth? I mean, what are you penciling in?
So this year, I think for all retailers, it's going to be a difficult year. And, the first quarter, as you know, the EBITDA for Reliance Industries in terms of profits, EBITDA profits was down by nearly 50%, roughly about half. So this year, I'd be surprised, irrespective of, the acquisition of the future group. And, the process of actually completing the transaction itself is going to take a bit. So I'd be looking at actually not significant growth, if not basically flat overall this year for Reliance. Next year, of course, partially due to the base effect and partially because of the future group being added, which notably will essentially add about 1/5 to the turnover itself. We are looking at a growth of nearly about 70%. 70%. So that growth is going to accelerate. Sorry, just to clarify, next year we're looking at about a 70% EBITDA growth. So that's going to be a clearly significant acceleration in EBITDA growth. I think one of the things also worth noting, two things are worth noting also here is that the EBITDA per square foot for future retail is significantly lower, is about 1/4 of Reliance Retail. And therefore, to that extent, there is scope for Reliance to add value there and bring in efficiencies. But do also note that future retail, which has got a higher proportion of the grocery and food business, is a low EBITDA margin business. In Reliance's own portfolio, EBITDA margin there is about 8% versus consumer electronics is a large multiple of that. And also, Reliance does make a very high ROCE in this business of about 30%, which is commendable, especially when you compare it with the consolidated ROCE. However, this acquisition more than doubles Reliance's invested capital. And to that extent, while Reliance should get a positive economic spread here on the acquisition itself, but overall the ROCE may to some extent be dilutive nevertheless.
Okay, perhaps that could explain Edelweiss's whole stance on the stock, given the rally, of course, as well. Would have loved to take some more questions with you, Jal and Harshvardhan, but unfortunately we've completely run out of time, so we'll have to keep it for another day. Perhaps thank you very much for your thoughts on this big deal in the retail space between the Future Group and Reliance. Well, on that note, we do have to take another very quick break. Watch out for the market, by the way. The mid-cap index